Hello, the stream. Welcome back to VlogaNovel. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're well. It's my first stream since coming back from Austin, which was fantastic. Got a few updates, a few things to talk about before we get into the outlining of the book. Kristen! Greetings. Alright, what do we want to talk about? Oh, son of a bitch. Arg. Well, I'm going to be a bad streamer today. I'm going to get my hours in. I am going to get my hours in. But we're going to stream for a little bit. We're going to stream till 10:30, then I'm going to take a break. And in that time, I'm going to brief you on Austin. Going to let you know what's been going on. Some changes that have been made that I'm actually very excited about. And then I'm going to work on the outline until 10:30. Because 10:30 is when Hank and John do their live stream for their Patreon patrons for Dear Hank and John the podcast. And I'm a patron, so I am going to go to the live stream. Sorry, not sorry. Right, one sec. So Austin was great. Hung out with a lot of awesome people. Ate a lot of great food. Drank a lot of great alcohol. It was fan-fucking-tastic. Austin is my party city. Here, I'm going to Snapchat you guys really quick. Woo! Live stream! Stream of myself, streaming myself, streaming myself. Streamception. Woo! Live stream! Stream of myself, streaming myself, streaming myself. Streamception. Woo! Live stream! Stream of myself, streaming myself, streaming myself. Streamception. Oh boy. Let's see. Okay, what major events took place in Austin? Major event the first. Difficult to isolate. Kristen is not amused. Yeah, Austin is like my party town. Like, when I'm here in LA, I'm generally pretty chill. Like, I'll go out every once in a really long while. I'll have friends over very occasionally. The most excitement that I usually have is going out on dates with Megan, and most of the time we just want to relax. So, like, we'll go to dinner and a movie and not do anything super crazy or whatever. When I go to Austin, I kind of let my freak flag fly a little bit. And every time I go out with friends at night, I have to let them know, whenever you want to go home and go to bed, you should do that because I'm going to stay until the last person leaves. Uh, and that happened every night I was down there. Um, and I really like having that environment every once in a while because it's just very freeing, I guess. You get to talk to people outside of your normal comfort zone and outside of their normal comfort zone. Um, and I mean, you guys know me. I'll talk fucking forever, and I did a lot. I kept apologizing to people because I kept just like kind of steamrolling the conversation, which isn't necessarily the best thing. Um, and yeah, let's add let's add something here. Um, so what happened? What did we decide down in Austin? Well, first of all, we are going to make it. We are going to make every effort to have a legendary booth at Kamikaze this year in Anaheim, which I'm super excited about. Super duper excited about. I think that would be epic and amazing, and epically amazing and amazingly epic. So we're gonna we're gonna try and make that happen. Um, what we need to do that is primarily money, of course, and we also need, well, mostly just money. We do need some other stuff. We need more artwork. Although we have more art coming in all the time. Here, I can actually show you something. So we need artwork because we'd want to have some swag stuff. You know, we'd want to have posters, that kind of deal. Oh, not that one. So we need some art hanging on the booth. We'd need copies of books, of course, um, and and actually, so that's a cool thing. Hey, what's up, Sidrock? There it is. So this is the final cover. Final artwork for the next cover, which is going to be called Tales of the Wanderer, which is going to be the second book in the Tales of the Wanderer series. There it is. Some of you guys know who this character is and are hopefully just as excited as I am to see him on the page as you are to see him in art. I'm quite happy with this cover. Uh, Hard to say whether I like it better than the first one, but I like it a lot. So there you go. I'm really, really excited about this. I'm really, really excited about that series. I had a meeting with Sean yesterday, and he said Tales of the Wanderer might be the most commercial Underrealm series, and I was like, maybe until the Umbrella series comes out later. Um, and I think he's right. I think it might be. Hey, what's up, DM Nerd? Welcome. I don't know if I've seen you around the channel. If I haven't, welcome to the channel. So yeah. So speaking of which, so I'm obviously working hard to get the outline done. My goal is to have the outline for Academy Journals 3 done before next Wednesday, completely done and ready to write. Sean should be done editing Academy Journals 2 next Wednesday. Yes, he did fix the arrow. That was my one. Like, I was like, he didn't fix it twice, and I was like, no, you gotta arrow on the other side because that's a thing. Because that's sort of like a subtle clue. Anyone seeing the book cover who's read Darkfire will hopefully see that arrow and be like, oh. Yeah. So what I'm hoping will have, if we do the booth at Kamikaze this year, and if we do the booth at Kamikaze this year, we should have a dummy version or a dummy edition of the first book of the Umbrella series. In other words, we'd have the book and we'd have the cover, but the what do you call it? The inside, it would just be 800 blank pages or however many pages it's going to be, but it's probably going to be 800. And I don't want to actually do a cover reveal until then. Like, I love showing you guys the cover of the world building and whatnot, but I want that cover. I want the first place people are going to be able to see that cover to be at the convention, and I want them to get posters. I want to do giveaways of the poster of that cover at the convention. And you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm very excited about that. Very excited to. I really hope we do get to have the booth happen, because that would make me a very happy author. Another big takeaway: we are going to be changing. We're going to be. This is only if you're an indie author. If you're a reader, this won't mean so much to you. But we're going to be changing our email provider and the way that it sort of works, so that we can bring new fans in from a number of different new readers can join the community from a number of different directions, but all basically end up in the same place, knowing the same things and being aligned. So we're going to be changing our email provider. We're going to be changing our email autoresponders that people get when they sign up for the email list. And we are going to focus a lot on building that email list. Right now, a lot of our focus is on selling books. And we realized while we were in Austin, selling books it's such short-term thinking. And yeah, I've been poor for so long that maybe it makes sense that I want to focus on selling books. But it makes more sense to just build the community and keep bringing in new people to contribute to the awesomeness, right? However, on the selling more books front, Sunday we've got a BookBub ad, which very excited. It's going to be awesome. Is it Sunday we have a BookBub ad? I think it's Sunday. Yeah, I better double check that so I can make sure everything's in place for it. But yeah, I'm reasonably certain it's Sunday's a BookBub ad. That's going to be huge. We have a lot of stuff to prepare for that, but that's all like behind the scenes, like dashboard and publishing shit that doesn't really matter for the writing so much. But a pretty big update on Underrealm itself. Okay, so most of you know, especially if you've been around for a while and you've been watching the streams, paying attention to all of that, you know that I have written the first 4 books of the Nightblade epic, am currently writing the Academy Journals, will next be writing the series called Tales of the Wanderer, and after that I was going to write a series called the Sellsword Saga, which name probably needed work because Sellsword Saga doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. A little too much sibilance, a little too much alliteration. I love my alliteration, don't get me wrong. Too much alliteration. So, I didn't know what the Sellsword Saga was going to be about at all. And so but I didn't need to figure it out because we weren't going to be publishing it until like September. So no urgency there, right? But it's just been rolling around in my mind and rolling around in my mind and so on and so forth. And eventually I just, I kind of realized, or I was thinking about it more, and I realized I don't actually have to. Well, ultimately, basically, we made the decision we're going to pull the Sellsword Saga from this year. We're not going to start that series this year. Because if there's no need for that story, like, I know why the Academy Journals needs to happen this year, and I know why Tales of the Wanderer needs to happen this year, right? But there's no need for the Sellsword Saga, or whatever it's going to end up being called. So what we're planning now is, in the Umbrella book, the first big Avengers style book in Underrealm, we are going to introduce a character who is going to be awesome and is then going to leave the story. He's going to leave that book in the middle, and the Sellsword Saga will pick up next year, beginning his story. That's when his story will start, right? One, that'll be the only character that we've done that with, so that's cool and unique and interesting. And two, I know a character in the first Umbrella book that's going to need, like, it just makes more sense. Like, I know why we need that character, because they're going to be they're going to be introduced, and then they're going to be doing stuff behind the scenes in between book 1 and book 2, and there you go. So yeah, so that's a fairly big development. It does mean less books published this year, which, like, more books published is always good, but I also don't want to publish books just for the sake of publishing books. But unless something major changes as the story continues to develop, that series, I have no reason to have that series. Something might change where I'm like, oh no, we do need the Sellsword Saga. But also, just in terms of production time, I feel much better about production now. Now that I'm going to finish Academy Journals, write the next Nightblade, finish Tales of the Wanderer, write the final Nightblade for the year, and then work on Quest. Now I feel like we're back on track so that I can have like 6 months to work on Quest if I want to. So that's the deal. And that was the biggest thing that came out of Austin. And there you go. So hopefully that's at least mildly interesting to some people. And yeah. All right. All right, let's get crack-a-lackin' on some outlining, shall we? When last we left our heroes, yeah, it feels right. You know what I mean? It just feels more. It just feels better. It feels like it's smarter to do it this way, and it feels like it's more unifying for the story world, and that it all makes sense. Oh, also, I don't know if I might not have talked about this on the stream or not. Let's go back to full screen for a moment. I might not have talked about this on the stream before, and I know I haven't talked about it. I know I haven't talked about it on the YouTube channel. I haven't talked about it a lot on the YouTube channel. Like, the amount of stuff I realized recently, the amount of stuff that I talk about on VlogaNovel that I don't bring up on my YouTube channel boggles my mind. Like, YouTube channel is so behind, and I feel bad about that, but there's so much more time on VlogaNovel to remember things and say things. Hey, Clundy Man! Good morning. So, there's a girl named Amy who works for Sterling and Stone, and she's fantastic. Love her. One of my favorite people in the entire world. And she's like my work sister. We're always sniping at each other, but like in the friendliest and best possible way. And we got to hang out a lot in Austin, which just I love. She's just such a wonderful person. Um, and she's never been on the front face of Sterling and Stone, but like, oh man, the audience should meet her. She was at the summit, and everybody who met her was just like, "You're so great and wonderful." And Amy and I talk all the time, like once a week, and for like long periods of time, which is of course entirely my fault. Um, and I talk to her about the world, about Underrealm a lot. Oh, one more update about what happened in something that happened in Austin that like will yeah that just is. Um, so we've been talking a lot about Underrealm and whatnot, and she knows what I'm trying to do with Underrealm. Where I'm trying to create a fantasy world where it's a world more like what we wish we could see rather than a fantasy world that just is a certain way because all other fantasy worlds have been that way forever. Let's see if this works better. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Um, and then one day, several months ago, again, I can't remember if I've talked about this on stream or not before, but then one day, several months ago, she said, "So Garrett, you know your big Umbrella series, the big one, the important one, the Avengers style one?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, that's gonna be the series. Like a lot of people are gonna read the world building series, but for the man on the street, or woman on the street, the person who doesn't know much about sci-fi or fantasy or whatever, but they know about the Avengers and they know about Star Wars and they know about the Lord of the Rings, that person isn't going to know about Nightblade or the Academy Journals, but they will know about the Umbrella series." And I said, "Yes, that's going to be the big one, my like magnum opus or whatever the fuck." And she said, "You know that the protagonist of that book is a white dude, just like every other fantasy series ever has been." And I was resistant at first, which like, not resistant to the idea. I don't know. I was resistant. Like, I was like, but I've always imagined it that way. I was like, well, okay. She was not very pushy. She just brought it up. She planted the seed in my mind probably 6 months ago or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then I talked to her again a couple of months ago, and I was like, no, you know what? I figured out why it's fine. And I went on this whole explanation. She was like, okay, whatever. And then I talked to her a month ago, and I was like, I don't know if it's fine anymore. And then I talked to her right before the summit, and I was like, it's not fine. So that's actually a major change, is that the main character of that series is used to be called Oris, Orus, and now it will be Oris, Oris. Oh, God, Kristen, I cannot wait. Okay, so here's what's going to happen, Kristen. I'm going to move to Oregon. I'm going to settle in my house in McMinnville or whatever, and then I'm going to invite Amy up to visit us because she's awesome and fantastic. And then and at the same time, I'm going to try and make sure that you and Rob can come down from Portland so that you guys, because holy crap, you and Amy, peas in a pod. Like, whoa boy, 100%. And Alex too, although I've never talked with Alex, right? I have a feeling the three of you would be like, I mean, like the Avengers. Like you would be like the unstoppable superhero team that would just destroy the world or save it or avenge it, more appropriately for the Avengers. Anyway, so that's a major change, and I'm glad that I realized that major change and anyway, had that aha moment before the cover, because I'm actually about to send a cover request for the first cover of the Umbrella series, for the cover of the first book of the Umbrella series, and I'm very excited to see it. I know exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be so beautiful. It's going to be, oh man, I'm really excited about this. Really excited. So yeah. But that one I'm not going to show. I'm not going to show until I do. And when I do, it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be epic and amazing and awesome. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's see. What else? Oh yeah. Another thing that I realized when I was down in Austin. So I was at this sort of, I was in a group and we were talking and everything, and I was talking about like we were talking about ideas to expand our books and our writing and everything like that, and and I was like, okay, so here's what I want to do with Underrealm, and how can I do this and everything like that, and they asked me, so what sort of website do you have at underrealm.com? Is it like a forum website? Is it a wiki website? Is it a blog? And I was just sitting there like, giggity Kristen. And the guy looked at me and he was like, "You do own underrealm.com, don't you?" Yee. And the answer, of course, is that I did not. And unfortunately, I checked, and underrealm.com is being held by somebody who wants to sell it for more than $2,000. But underrealm.net was free, so I bought underrealm.net. At one point, I might buy underrealm.com, but frankly, I don't care enough to pay $2,000. If by the end of the year $2,000 isn't such a big deal, like maybe we'll get it. But we got underrealm.net, and we're gonna put something up there fairly soon. A very very simple website, mostly just a place where people can see the catalog of books and where they can sign up for the email list, get their free copy of Nightblade, etc., etc., etc. So, have that be a central hub for all that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm really glad that I got Underrealm.net before the books became super big or whatever, and somebody bought all of those, all of those, all of those websites, and I wouldn't have them anymore. So yeah, so that happened. Why is my stream being all weird? I'm on the right Wi-Fi. I need to get a Wi-Fi adapter so that my laptop can be plugged directly into the internet. Okay, so here we go. Kristen, by the way, has been sending back beta notes, and Kristen, your beta notes are fantastic as always. I love how much you love Mako. I love it because Sean and I were like, Mako should be one of the best characters in this series. DM Nerd, I currently use Mailchimp, but we're gonna move to Active Campaign. Active Campaign is fantastic, like really really good. You can do things with Active Campaign you just can't do with anybody else, including Mailchimp or Aweber or anything else. Yeah, Kristen, like two k for a website certainly isn't a big deal. It's just that spend right now can't be justified from a business perspective. So yeah, I have no doubt that it will be justifiable at some point. The fuck? Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah. I definitely caught a little bit of con crud, but it's a it's a mild case, fortunately. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it is. Oh god. Why do I have Nine Inch Nails stuck in my head? Every day is exactly the same. Every day is exactly the same. There is no object, there is no pain. Aw, I don't even know what Mitomo is. Do I want to know? Cool. Is it on iOS? Mi tomo. It is. Look at that. Bam! Installing it. It's happening. $10:30. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I gotta end the stream. Gotta go spend my time with Hank and John. So I will end the stream at this point. I will be back in the afternoon after the live stream with Hank and John. Then I have to go take Chewy for a walk so that our lawn can be gardened. And of course, I'll have lunch during that time. So I might not come back until like 2:33, 2:30 or 3, not 2:33. That would be too specific of a time. But I will be back at some point later in the day, and I hope that you can come by and check it out and hang out, because it would be good to see all of you. Okay, talk to you all later. Bye.